Hello there and welcome. I'm Gideonmindset. Well, you and I are supposed to be here. We are at the right place at the right time. There is no accidents in this universe. Everything happens in an orderly way. Well, I would imagine you've been wandering around wanting to change some aspects or every aspect of your life. Well, in this video, I'm going to show you some information that will help you to do that. So this information that I'm going to share with you really originated way back in 1908, where Andrew Carnegie commissioned a young reporter to really collect information of the laws that governs success, where Andrew Carnegie himself was successful alongside with Thomas Edison, Barnes, and Ford. So Carnegie said, "It is sad that all these giant and successful people are going to go to their grave with all this knowledge and information locked up in their body." So he commissioned a young guy called Napoleon Hill. And Napoleon Hill took the challenge to himself and decided to investigate and find information of the law or the reasons why these people became so successful in life. And with tens and tens of years with Napoleon Hill studying the great people at that time, in 1928 he brought the book Laws of Achievement. And then in 1937, through that, he brought another book which was the best-selling book in the whole world, and so now, Think and Grow Rich. Now in the book, he said there were 30 reasons why people fail in life, and at the end of that 30 he put 31, and he said in case he left one, you could fill that in, and I believe someone has done that already. In that book he said there are 13 principles that actually governs people to be successful, and he shared that in the 13 principles in the book. Now through Napoleon Hill's tens and tens of years of studying the great-minded people at that time, he found out that there were 13 major reasons or 13 major principles that actually governs success, right? So I wonder the ideas that the Wright brothers actually had to get the plane off the ground and actually made Ford actually build a car. These are the same ideas that we could actually have. In the book Think and Grow Rich, in the preamble, Napoleon Hill actually said there is a secret in this book. There is a secret in this book that if we do find the secret, we can have everything that we want. People that actually found the secret used it, and they've built big organizations, and they're doing great in life. Well, in this book, we're going to find out the secret and what the secret is about. In the book, people that found the secret, Napoleon Hill named them one after the other, one after the other, one after the other, and they earned millions of dollars. One day I sat down, I took a pen, and I wrote down I was going to build a company that operates all over the world. I genuinely didn't know how I was going to do it, but I knew that I was going to end it. You see, I can promise you one thing. If you're going to focus on what I'm going to show you, I can promise you, you're going to get there. You know, the beautiful thing is that we've got everything that we need right inside our body. We don't need to get it anywhere. You see, we don't need to follow the normal pattern of the school. We don't have to read all these books, and we don't have to know everything. I think Madame Montessori actually put it really good. You see, he said we send a child to school like they're an empty cup, expecting them to fill up the cup. You see, the beautiful truth is that the cup is already full, and what school does is that it just brings it out. You and I are the only creation which is totally disoriented on this planet. The other little creatures, they are in totally harmony with their environment. We don't. You and I, we are totally disoriented, and that is because we have the ability to build the environment that we want. Now think about this. That literally means you and I can literally create the life that we want. You see, when I first heard that, I did not believe it. I knew the man who was giving me the advice believed it, and that was Maurice Andrew. He was my first mentor, and he said, "Gideon, your way is not working, why don't you follow mine? Why don't you spend a moment right now and ask yourself, what do you really like to do? And what do you really want? Your spiritual DNA is perfect. And it's at that perfection that is seeking expression within true lies. When we go past all the nonsense that has been programmed into our subconscious mind, and we really go down to the core of what we really are, you see, we can have anything that we want. That causes us to want things. It doesn't matter what we're doing. We want more. You see, when I was young, my mom was an angel of God. My mom was the best, to be honest. Told me that she'll be satisfied with whatever that I have. And I came to find out that that is not true. Because we shouldn't be satisfied, but we should be grateful. We should be appreciative of what we have, but we shouldn't be satisfied with what we have. If you're singing, you want to sing better. If you're running, you want to run faster. And if you're jumping, you want to jump higher. It doesn't even matter what you're doing. You want to do it better. And the beautiful part of this is that you can. I know all the 30 causes of failure. I know them and I've practiced them. And trust me, it does not work. It would not work. With all these 13 principles that actually Napoleon Hill spends tens and tens of years studying it, finding the information of the 13 principles. You see, million people have used the 13 principles Napoleon Hill brought out, and they've been able to earn millions and millions of dollars. The one criteria is that it doesn't matter where you are. If you are successful, you could become more successful. You see, you and I have an infinite potential. No one can really guess what you and I are capable of doing. And if you've been failing up to this point, that is okay. Let the dead bury the dead. Let the past go. We have to focus on who we are, where we are, and where we're going. All these principles, you see, all these 13 principles comes together beautiful, like a mosaic. I don't think you can talk about one and leave the other. But in the episodes which will be coming up, I will be talking about every single one of these 13 principles. When you first look at this, it might seem overwhelming. But the truth is that it's very simple. Now we're going to give you a path. I'm going to give you a path. And when you go on that path, everything is going to be very smooth and easily. You're going to have a beautiful, brilliant future. Believe me. When you first look at all these, you might think it is overwhelming. Trust me, it's very simple. I'm going to give you a path. We're going to give you a path. When you go on that path, trust me, you're going to have a phenomenal and a beautiful life. You will encounter some problems. Yes, you will. I mean, we all do have problems. I still do have problems. And I've been working on it all my adult life. But let me tell you something. Our perception of the problems is different. When you see the opportunity in the problem, you know, if we didn't have any problem in this life, we would be living a very boring life. We wouldn't even be living at all. We would be existing. So as we go along here, stay focused. Don't treat this as a self-help program. It goes so much deeper into that. There have been thousands and millions of people that have actually tried this, and it actually works. There have been many hours that these great people, brilliant people, have actually tested this and putting it into work. So stay focused. All we have to do is that know it, study it, and let's put it into work. It will take a bit of some time, but instantly you will see your life changing like day and night, just like that. It's going to be so much deeper into that. Let's stay focused and let's get it going. So you just have to give yourself some time, 6 months, a year, 2 years, your life will turn around. And your perception about life will definitely change. So let's talk about fear. Fear is a negative emotion. By following these 13 principles, you will find yourself on the other side of fear. You see, there is a law of the universe, which is the law of polarity. It decreases everything as an opposite. every positive has a negative. The truth is, it's neither positive or negative. It's our thinking that makes it so. So we can change it and make it into what we want, of it is a positive polarity. You see, let go of fear. It's not necessary. I'm going on a positive polarity, and I believe you're coming with me, because that's where I'm heading. The cause of all fear is ignorance, and we have to let go. I'm going to give you understanding. It will brighten your life, and it will make you have a phenomenal future. I formed good habits over those times, and I picked good mentors. You can use this series as your mentor, and you can let me be your mentor. Often there's a saying that says people that are dead a couple of thousand years can actually help you more than people that are alive today. And it's true. People that are dead a couple of thousand years ago still help me out, and that's through their books and their writing. See, one of the habits that I formed and my very first mentor, that was Maurice Andrew. He said I should do whatever that he asked me to do. For some reason, I didn't question it. I did exactly what he asked me to do. He said, do it until you find out that I'm lying or I don't know what I'm talking about. Trust me, I don't lie, and I do know what I'm talking about. So I'm going to use the same words for you. Do exactly what I suggest in these videos until you find out that I'm lying or I don't know what I'm talking about. And trust me, I don't lie, and I do know exactly what I'm talking about. And years ago, they said by their right fruit, you know them. I think we should go back to where it all started. During 1908, Napoleon Hill was a young reporter from a small magazine company. So what happened was that Napoleon Hill and his organization decided at that time to interview wealthy people at that time to pick their brains. So Napoleon Hill got a chance to interview Andrew Carnegie, who was that time the wealthiest man at that time. He got time with him, asking him questions for 3 hours. Now at the end of that 3 hours, Andrew Carnegie told Napoleon Hill that this interview isn't ending, it's just the beginning. So Andrew Carnegie actually invited Napoleon Hill back to his house. Now from Napoleon Hill said he was really excited when Andrew Carnegie decided to invite him back to his house, just because at that time, at that night, he really didn't have enough money to rent a hotel room. So Andrew Carnegie and Napoleon Hill spent 3 days in the house, and Napoleon Hill kept picking Andrew Carnegie's brain. So at the end of those 3 days, Andrew Carnegie asked Napoleon Hill a question, and he has 60 seconds to answer. And Napoleon Hill didn't know that he had 60 seconds to answer. He had a stop clock right underneath the table. So Andrew Carnegie told Napoleon Hill that, Napoleon Hill, you spent 3 days with me. You've been able to know how I accomplished whatever that I've accomplished. So I'm going to ask you a question. And you have to answer it with a yes or no. So Andrew Carnegie told him, are you willing to be dedicated to an idea for 20 years where you probably receive no material compensation? I know I've asked myself so many times this question on different occasions. And how would you answer that? In 25 seconds, Napoleon Hill said yes, he will. He qualified. You know, one thing that I learned and one thing that I found out is that wealthy people, they make decisions very, very fast, and they change them very, very slow. Now, decisions in the book Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill actually wrote a whole chapter about it. And during the first page, that's when he said, rich people make decisions very, very fast, and they change it very, very slow, and sometimes they don't, if they like it. Andrew Carnegie told Napoleon Hill that he's going to introduce him to some of the world successful people at the time, and he will receive no subsidy from him, that he wants him to go and write the laws of achievement, and he wants him to organize it, and what he'll receive from Andrew Carnegie is going to be a letter of introduction, and that is it. And then he told Napoleon Hill he's going to run into tough times. Yes, he's going to run into tough times, that he's going to give him something that's going to help him through those tough times. He told Napoleon Hill that he's going to write a letter from yourself to yourself. And then he said, Andrew Carnegie, I'm not only going to equal your achievement in life, I'm going to meet you at the post and pass you at the grandstand. Now instantly, Napoleon Hill threw his pencil on the floor and said, "You know damn well that this is not going to work." And the Carnegie said, "Yes, it won't, unless and until you believe it." So he told Napoleon Hill that he wants him to do this every night and every morning. He wants him to look into the mirror, look into his eyes and repeat, "And Carnegie, I'm not going to only equal your achievements in life, I'm going to meet you at the post and pass you at the grandstand." So it wasn't an easy thing for Hill to do, because he was living as his brother at that time, and he promised his brother that he was going to pay for him to go through college. And now he had to go back and tell his brother he won't be able to do that he's got a 20 years project that nobody was going to pay him, and he wasn't going to get no money from it. And he couldn't even tell his brother what the project was, because he might be thinking that he thought maybe his brother might think that he might be losing his mind. So on the first day, Napoleon Hill went in the bathroom and was looking in the mirror and said to himself, "Andrew Carnegie, I'm not going to only equal your achievement in life, I'm going to meet you at the post and I'm going to pass you at the grandstand." Now he said when he was saying that, he felt like a damn fool, that he didn't believe it. But in the middle of the month, he kind of felt that it could happen, and he dedicated that he was going to do it for 30 days. And by the end of the month, he knew that it was going to happen. I've had a fair amount of study on this, and I've read that Andrew Carnegie actually made 50 millionaires. Others say that he made about 23 billionaires, and other people also say that he made like 20 millionaires. Now you see, Napoleon Hill made millions of millionaires, so he did equal his achievement, and he did pass him at the grandstand. So I think about it, why did a poor boy like Napoleon Hill, who works for a magazine, do something like that? And why would he do it, and how did he do it? You see, I believe it was strictly on the belief that Andrew Carnegie actually gave him. I knew that Andrew Carnegie wasn't going to let Napoleon Hill do anything that it was unjust. Now you see, why would successful people make decisions very fast and change them very slow? Now I've been studying this, and I'll probably never stop studying this. And it appears to be true in Napoleon Hill's research that successful people make decisions very fast and change them very slow. Now I wonder, why do they do that? And why do they make decisions and they have no idea how they're going to make it happen? There's a reason for it. Most of them are unconscious competent, but they don't know why they do it, but they just do it. So in these films, I'm going to show you how to be conscious competent and to be able to gain wherever that you want. See, I think we all start with our own thinking. Vibration is a law of the universe. Everything vibrates, nothing rests. Now look at the walls around you. They are vibrating. It appears to be still, but it is vibrating. Look at the microscope. You see the energy dancing right in front of your eyes. Nothing is still. Everything vibrates. Now take a look at the body in the coffin. Now you might be probably thinking, I'm losing it right here. But look, listen and think. The body is moving so fast that it appears to be still. Everything vibrates. Nothing stays still. Now we live in an ocean of motions. Make no mistake about it. Now if the body wasn't vibrating, how would it ever change to dust? Level of vibrations are frequencies. Now the beautiful thing is that we think on frequencies. All the great people that ever lived, they all agree on one point, but they virtually disagree on the others. They all agree on a point that says we actually become what we think about. Now you see, our thoughts are the ones that produce our results. The dynamic law of life is to create or disintegrate. You see, you're never going to stay where you are, following what we're going to teach you. You're going to create. That's a beautiful part. You know what the problem is? We're thinking of the wrong frequency. Now the frequency of our thoughts is living on this level, and wherever that we want is also on a different frequency. Everything we've ever wanted is right here. Nothing is created or destroyed. See, there's an infinite number of frequencies. Wherever that we've wanted, it's always been here. All we have to do is to attract it. We have to get on that frequency to attract it. Now, when you want to phone your uncle, let's say Henry, I mean, you wouldn't expect your mom to pick up because you've got on Henry's frequency. So whatever that we want, we have to get on that frequency to be able to attract it. You know something? You're going to learn how to do that. You know, what we have to do is that we're going to make a paradigm shift. See, we program to be acting the way that we acted. Why would 90 or 95 or 97% of the population still keep using the losing formula? We think on a low frequency. Whatever that we want is on a high frequency. And to be able to do that, you have to be committed. Now, when I say commitment, what do I mean by that? Commitment is when we do it regardless. Now, when we make a commitment to do it, what it does is that it flips our brains into that high frequency to be able to attract what we want. Now, we're going to talk about the sixth sense. The only criteria for setting a goal is, do you want it? Do not worry about how you're going to do it or where the money is going to come from. You see, I once heard a cute story from a Maharaji when he was taking transcendental meditations and decided to take it to the world. One of his associates asked him that, where is the money going to come from? He said, wherever it is right now. And I thought that was a beautiful answer. When President John Kennedy asked Dr. Van Braun, what would it take to build a rocket and take human beings to the moon and bring it back to Earth safely? You see, he answered him with just 5 words. He said, the will to do it. Will is a mental faculty, and it creates our ability for us to concentrate. Decision. It all started when Andrew Carnegie asked Napoleon Hill that is he willing to dedicate his life for about 20 years, of which he will receive no material compensation. And Napoleon Hill agreed to it. You see, Napoleon Hill didn't know how he was going to do it, and he didn't believe it. But do you know one thing? When you set a goal, you don't have to believe it. But when you tell yourself that lie repeatedly, then you start to believe it. Way back in 1900, William James from Harvard said, believe, and your belief will create the facts. So true, and so misunderstood. Now I want you to compare your dream to Napoleon Hill's dream. He didn't know how he was going to do it. He definitely didn't have no help or any financial help. But he knew he was going to do it. Do you know, way back when I took a pen and I wrote down that I was going to build a company that operates all over the world, I didn't know how I was going to do it. And I was definitely in no position of starting a company. But do you know what? Today, I own a business with Renouf and Kofi, and the business operates all over the world. There are no accidents in this universe. Everything happens in an orderly way. And I'm doing something that the society might think is some extraordinary, but it's not extraordinary. It will make sense when you start studying all these 13 principles. You're going to study this. You're going to study this. I studied it, and I studied it every day, every single day. Do you know something? I studied it every day, at least for an hour, or sometimes more. It's a habit that I don't even spend time thinking about it. It's a habit. I changed paradigms. I shifted my paradigms. It's a habit. Habits just like washing your hair, brushing your teeth. You see, you don't think about it, but you just do it. That was the power of repetition. You see, habits, good habits translate our life. You know, one thing that you need is a great awareness. People are not earning 100,000 a year because they know how to earn 100,000 a year. People are earning 100,000 a year because they don't know how to earn 100,000 a month. People are struggling just because they want to struggle. They struggle just because they don't know how to knock all those blocks down. It's never from outside. It's always inside. It's never a person and it's never a circumstance. It's just lack of awareness. It's just a beautiful information. How is it that people with big degrees are not earning enough money, but yet still people that cannot even read and write have got millions and millions of dollars? How do we account for that? You're gonna find that out as you study this. It's got nothing to do with outside. It's all inside. Education isn't the answer to what's in the book. Education came from the Latin word educe, means to develop or grow within. Remember when I said everything is right here? Omnipresent, everything is right here. That's within us. Monty Montessori was right. Andrew Carnegie was right. Napoleon Hill was right. Andrew Carnegie knew the right questions, and Napoleon Hill knew how to answer them. What are you going to do with the rest of your life? That is the question. If you follow this, you can do whatever that you want. Hey superstars, this is Gideonmindset right here, co-founder of Gideonmindset.com. So I have been thinking about doing this for some time now, and I think this is the perfect time to do it. So what I will be doing is that every single Monday, that I will name that series as Motivational Mondays. Yes, I'm bringing Motivational Mondays, and every single Monday I will be dropping a video which will take our mindset to a whole new level. So in this series, we will be talking about books, we will be talking about personal development, we will be talking about anything that actually develops us as a human being. And trust me, you will love it. So every single Monday, tune into all my social media platforms, and there will be a video about Motivational Mondays. I want to thank every single one who has followed me through all this journey, and it's about time I give back whatever that I've learned. So once again, thank you very much for tuning in, and I'll see you on Monday. Stay blessed.